Arches National Park is home to over 2,000 documented arches located in eastern Utah in the adorable town of Moab. So yesterday I drove 5 hours south to prevent running into the snow, but the snow followed me anyways. Just the northeasterner in me, I think. Just wait it out. It is really pretty though. Snow in the desert. Who would have thunk? Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Angie Really Likes to Walk. Today we are going to do the Devil's Garden Trail in Arches National Park. So it's about 7.8 miles round trip, and you see a ton of arches. What's not to love? Lots of walking, lots of arches. I should really get a new hobby. I'm just walking everywhere. The arches in this park are not fixed features of the park, meaning they will all one day erode away and crumble. The main cause of erosion of these features today is simply water. Repetitive precipitation wears away at the sandstone until it eventually will weaken the arch to the point of breaking. The most recent arch to crumble was the famous wall arch back in 2008. On this hike, you don't have to walk too far before you are met with this giant, the landscape arch. This arch is 306 feet long and one of the longest in the world. But it doesn't look like this arch will be with us too much longer. You can see the razor-thin rock left connecting these rocks. There is even a video of the chunk of the landscape arch falling off back in 1991. A visitor in the park heard cracking and started to record, and caught the whole thing on video. It is pretty incredible that someone was there to record this happening. This hike continues on to see the Double O Arch, but I ended up turning back because the snow and rain from the day before caused the trail to be in rough shape. From many points in the park, you can see La Salle Mountains off in the distance, which provides a gorgeous contrast to the desert conditions you are in while in the park. It honestly doesn't even seem like a real place. It's too perfect. Well, that was fun. I only did half the trail because the other half got washed out from rain and snow the other day. But I got to see the landscape arch. That thing is huge. One of the best things to do in the park is to simply drive through all of it. Trust me, it's worth the gas to see this unique, breathtaking landscape. Okay, I'm going for the Delicate Arch hike. It is super steep and slippery because half of it's on sand and half of it's on this huge slab of rock on an incline. But people track the sand onto the huge slab of rock, which creates a slippery mess. I bought new shoes, so we're gonna use those because hopefully the grip is better. Hopefully it works. If not, we'll slide down another mountain. I'm hoping these look pretty grippy, right? Do you guys see what I mean? One big slab of rock and you're walking straight up it. Alright, here we go. Ugh. For the record, going down is way worse than going up. It's just so slippery. Also, I have a track record for falling down mountains, so, you know. Okay. The Delicate Arch is the most famous arch in the park, even making its way onto the Utah license plate as a symbol for the state. So naturally, this hike is always going to be crowded. But don't let that deter you from doing it, because it's honestly one of the coolest hikes ever. The hike takes you across large chunks of sandstone, and on the edge of cliffs, until you are met face to face with the Delicate Arch with La Salle Mountains as a backdrop. This arch is 52 feet tall and seemingly juts out of nowhere, which is why it's one of the coolest sights in the park. This hike is a very popular destination for sunset, as the setting sun enriches the color of the arch and paints the sky behind it. It was freezing when I went, so I did not stay for sunset. That was a lot bigger than I remember. But this is gorgeous at sunset. Oh my goodness. I can't get over the colors of this place. With the snow-capped mountains in the background. Hey, okay. Also, I was being a little bit dramatic about the difficulty of this hike. There were literally infants and people with canes, and I saw a woman with a crutch. So it's a doable hike, I'm just a baby.
The trail even provides a view of the petroglyphs, carved sometime between 1650 and 1850 AD, of bighorn sheep and riders on horses. There is something different about the sunset in the desert. They seem to transform not only the sky, but the surrounding land. It is truly magical to witness. The glowing light changes the hue of the sand and the stone to a vibrant shades of yellow, orange, and pink. It seems every time I blinked, I was met with a brand new color as the sun slowly set. Then it got real cold real quick. That also happens in the desert.
The really nice thing about doing this in the off season is that I could get 10 hours of sleep and still see sunrise and sunset because there's only 12 hours of daylight.
Sunrise in the park was equally as breathtaking, and I'm so glad I was driving through it because I got to see these crazy rock formations with the painted sky as a backdrop. If you only have a short time in the park, the best way to see the most arches in the shortest amount of time is to drive down Windows Road. At the end, you are able to see the north and south window arches. And directly across from it, the turret arch, all within a very short walk of the parking lot. On the other side of the parking lot, there is a short hike to the Double Arch, with a view of the rock formation they called the Parade of Elephants along the way. The Double Arch is a must-see if you ever come visit the park, because look at this thing. On my last hike in the park, I went to explore the Sand Dune Arch. This hike takes you through a tiny slot in towering sandstone walls. And through gorgeous pink sand, to an arch hidden away from the outside view. I was lucky enough to experience this arch all alone because it was freezing. Don't let the sand fool you. Finally, my last arch on the trip is called the Broken Arch. But to my surprise, it was not broken. But it got its name from a fracture that is located in the center of the arch, which is a little bit unnerving. Arches National Park truly feels like you walked onto another planet, and it is really cool to know that my experience in the park will be different from others as the landscape changes in the years to come.
Alright, I'm usually a go with the flow person, but I need to complain for a second because I am human and I'm irritated. I paid $7 for one shower, and this is the water pressure. Yeah, I have a lot of hair. $7! I do feel better though now that I got that out of my system. Thank you for listening. Alright, now that I'm clean, I'm gonna go into the library.